Hey folks, today we're going to pick up some remaining design items from our last stream. So let me show you what I have here. So last time we were working on the launch screen and we also did a little bit of work with our icons right here on our tab bar. So let me show you these. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So those, we wanted to make the tint on those a different color than this blue. We were looking for different ways to do it in these tab bar items. I went ahead and looked this up so that I could show you. But basically, we do the exact same thing that we were doing before, except instead of doing it on the individual UI tab bar items, we're going to do it on the entire tab bar. So here what we're going to do is we're going to add a runtime attribute of tint color. We're going to set this type to color, and then we're going to set the color itself to this red. So now if we run the app, you can see that the color on these is red. You'll notice also that the icons are a little bit bigger than they were the last time we talked. The reason for that is that I went in and I added, I switched out the icons that we dragged in last time for slightly larger versions of the same icons. But the process is exactly what you saw in the last stream, so you haven't missed anything. So the other thing that I wanted to take a look at today was our launch screen. So okay. So this is one of the things that we built out in the last stream, and the way that we ended up doing the constraints on these two items was to essentially hard code their width and height. What I would like to do, at least with the lion today, is rather than set its width and height like this, I would like to use its aspect ratio. So what I want to do is I want to position it the way I want it relative to the words. And then what I want to do is set its horizontal spacing to the leading edge. So let's see how that looks. Full body lion leading, safe area dot leading, good. And then I also want to do it for the trailing edge. This is not how I want it exactly. I want this to be trailing. Actually, you know what? Let's get rid of this constraint completely. And try again. Horizontal spacing. And it doesn't want to set, what I want to do is set, here, I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this. Yeah, full body lion dot leading equals safe area dot leading. And then, you know what, let's try this other approach, where I use this thing, and I just set a trailing edge. No. So if we were to set it to that, to there, let's take a look at our size inspector. Align trailing to safe area, 40. And then what I want to do is fix the aspect ratio. So I want the lion to have the same aspect ratio, no matter what. Let's edit this to 80 and see what happens. Yeah, that's more like it. All right, let's see how that looks. We run our app. I'm more comfortable setting the constraints to the edges and the aspect ratio rather than a fixed, well, that looked good, height and width, because that, just depending on the phone, that's going to look strange. Now I do want to check, it doesn't translate well to all different screen sizes if you have a fixed width and a fixed height on everything. And so the way that I prefer to do it with images is to fix the aspect ratio and fix its position relative to edges either horizontally or vertically. What I would like to do is preview this on a 4S if my thing loads. 4S. There we go. No, I don't even see it. How come I don't see it? How would it look on an iPad? Let's find out. Oh, this is the wrong part of an iPad. iPad. I don't want the split view, I want the full screen. Well, how come? What happens if I back out the changes I just made? It appears. Then at least it shows, I guess. But look, it like doesn't look good. Okay, you have to go down so I can see. Did a lot of screwing around with it today, I guess. And this is where we were, I think. Now, admittedly, it looks odd on the iPad. I actually like the way it looks on the phone. So this is what I'm going to do for the iPad specifically, is I'm going to vary for traits on the iPad specifically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go to Attributes. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to introduce a variation based on the regular width and the regular height, which is what you're going to get with any iPad. And here, I'm going to make the text a lot bigger. And you'll notice it is only changing font sizes on the iPad. It doesn't look good yet on the iPad. Let's see if I can do, here we go. Let's get it up to 64. And then, rather than setting the labels width and height, get rid of all these. And then if we could grab it, set its leading edge to 80 away and the trailing edge to 10 away from either of the two edges. There we go. And I'm actually going to put that, rather than 80 away, where is it? There, there. Come on, work with me. There we go. So 80, I'm going to make it a little less than 80 because I'm looking at the 4S right here and I'm seeing that the K gets cut off and I don't like it. So I'm going to make it 75 instead. Does that do it? Still no good? Wow. Pickety, pickety. 64. There it goes. Now you see the 4S looks good. The phone, like, orientation and size we're about going for looks good. And the iPad also looks pretty good. They look different, but all the designs, like, make sense. Excellent. So let me go ahead and commit these design changes. I like that we're not using the fixed widths and heights. Particularly on, although we're still doing it here. I don't like that. Let's take one more shot at this, but before we do, I am going to commit what we have. Git status, git add, everything already committed, git status. Cool. Git commit -m, adjust, what have we done? Change, minor design changes, colon, adjust, change selected tint color of tab bar from blue to maroon, and adjust size and orientation of elements on launch screen. Gorgeous. So now if we mess this up, we've got something to come back to. And now I'm going to grab this. Get rid of these two constraints. I do not like them. Now I'm going to zoom in on this here. Grab it. Make it bigger. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoop. Nope. Move this up. I'm going to make my preview smaller so I can make my design area bigger. Alright, so this needs to be bigger. And then centered. So what I want to do now is I want to give it a left margin of 0 and a right margin of 64, and I want to lock the aspect ratio. We might come back to that relative sizing. Show the preview again. I'll have to get it all again. Mostly this time I'm concerned about the iPad. Does it look to you like it's showing the image over the text, but only on the 4S? This is something we might have to look into. In the meantime, where's the iPad? There it is. That looks better. I do want to move. Alright, so now it's behind it on everything. Now it's in front of it on everything. Oh, that fixed it. Why was it showing the label behind the image on some devices and not behind the image on the other devices until I moved it out and then moved it back? So I like this agglomeration of constraints better because I'm constraining the aspect ratio and the edges rather than setting a fixed height and width on things. And as you can see, it looks better. It like looks more similar on all three drastically different sizes of devices, relative to setting like a fixed height and width on things and then positioning them differently depending on the size of my screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to amend my commit with the changes I just made. I'm going to add git add what's already being tracked, which should just be my launch screen, and it looks like it is. I'm going to do git commit dash dash amend, and that's going to add the file to my previous commit with my previous message, which I could edit, but I don't want to edit it, so I'm going to hit escape :WQ save. Git status, beautiful. Git push. Lovely. All right, I did want to cover those two things real quick tonight, so we've done that, and I'll catch you on the next stream.